Welcome everyone. Welcome back. Today we will be starting the second lecture on real numbers, class 10 CBSE. So to start with, today we will be discussing Euclid's division lemma and its uses in finding HCF and some different properties. After this lecture, you will be able to solve all the relevant exercises regarding real numbers and the topics included here. So let us start with Euclid's division lemma. Euclid's division lemma. First, let us see the statement. Later on, I will make you understand this thing. It says that given two positive integers a and b, there exists unique integers q and r such that a equals bq plus r, where r is less than equals 0, less than equals b. So it's not less than equal, sorry, there is a slight mistake, it's less than b. So this may seem a bit difficult to you. So before coming to this, first we need to understand one thing, that is one thing you should see first before this Euclid's division lemma. It will be easy if you understand this thing. So let us consider the basic division process. So what is the basic division process? Let us, we are dividing 26 by 7. So that's 7 3s are 21 and the remainder is 5. Again, let us see another thing. Let us, we are dividing 24 by 7. So 7 3s are 21 and the remainder is 3. So here we can write this 26 equals to 7 times 3 plus the remainder, and here also 24 equals 7 times 3 plus the remainder, which is 3. So here we can say one thing, that we must consider these two results. We must consider these two results. So what we get from these two results is that here 7, this is called the divisor. This is the divisor. This 26 here, this is the dividend. Here 3 is the quotient and this 5 is the remainder. So if we see the result as 26 equals 7 into 3 plus 5, we can write here that the dividend equals to divisor into quotient plus the remainder. Now let us come to Euclid's division lemma. Now it will be quite easy for us to understand this thing. Now here the dividend is the A. You just match the result, dividend equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder, with Euclid's division lemma. Here the dividend is the A and B is the divisor. Quotient is Q and remainder is R. So basically the Euclid's division lemma tells us nothing except the normal division procedure. So basically, the statement is a bit difficult to understand, but it basically tells us about the normal division procedure. That is, it tells us how the dividend, divisor, quotient and remainder, these three are related. Now coming to the next step. Now what does this thing means that we wrote that A equals BQ plus R, where 0 less than equals R less than B. Now we have to understand about the R. What is meant by that R is between 0 and B. So let us suppose we have a number, let us suppose it is 15. Now if we divide 15 by 4, then 4 3s are 12 and the remainder is 3. So the remainder is always less than the divisor. Here the remainder is 3 and the divisor is 4. Now you have to understand this thing. If this 15 would be 16, for example 16, if we divide by 4, then it gets completely divided. 4 4s are 16 and the remainder is 0. If it is 17, let us divide by 4. So 4 4s are 16 and the remainder is 1. If it is 18, then 4 4s are 16. This is 2. Okay, this is 19. 4 4 is 16. This is 3. And if this is 20, 4, it gets completely divided. 4 5s are 20 and the remainder is 0. So you see one thing, the remainders are 1, 2, 3, 0 and these things gets repeated. If instead of 4 this would have been 5 instead of 4, then on varying the dividend we will get remainders which will vary between 0 and 4. That is, the remainder will be between 0, it will be greater than 0 and less than 5, where 0 is included. So the remainders will be 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the remainder can never be greater than the quotient. This is what it means by 0 less than R less than B. So basically the Euclid's division lemma is nothing but it just tells us about the normal division procedure. So now let us go to the next thing. Now where it is used, basically the division lemma. So its primary use is in class 10 it's HCF finding and some extra problems are there. I will discuss them in this lecture only. So first let us consider this thing, finding HCF by Euclid's division lemma. This is also a simple thing. This is nothing new to all of us. Now let us find, let us take two numbers. Let numbers be, let it be 455 and 42. So if we are asked to find the HCF, then based on our previous classes, we can find the HCF in the division method. That is, we will do it like this. You all know this thing, how to find HCF of two numbers. So just focus on the steps. From that we will come to the conclusion that how to find HCF by Euclid's division lemma. So the smaller number is 42 and the greater one is 455. So 42 tens are 420, then it comes 35, then again 42 here, 35 ones are 35, and finally 7, 35. So 7, it gets completely divided, 5 are 35. So the last divisor becomes HCF. So 7, this is the HCF. Now we have to do one thing. from we will get to the conclusion just from this previous knowledge that how to find HCF by Euclid's division lemma. If we consider this first division, that is, wait a minute, that is this one. If we consider here, this is the first step in finding the HCF. So here, if we apply, you can say divisor equals to dividend equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder, or by Euclid's division lemma, we can write that 455 equals to 42 into 10 plus 35. To make it a bit in line with Euclid's division lemma, I am writing the annotations above. 455 is the A, 42 is B, 10 is Q, and 35 is the R. Now coming to the next step, if we consider the second division step here, this one. In this step, we can write, again applying the Euclid division lemma, 42. 42 equals to 35 into 1 plus 7. And now in the last step, that is this one, here we can write 35 equals to 7 into 5 plus 0. So finally, what we have done is that we have written the steps involved in finding HCF. We have just written the steps involved in finding HCF. We have done nothing else. We have just written the steps, the first step, second step, and the third step in a linear way. Now this is only what we call finding HCF by Euclid's division lemma. Since we have just written them in the format A equals to BQ plus R, that's why we call it that finding the HCF by Euclid's division lemma. We will continue this process if the numbers may vary. Here it is 455 and 42. In other examples, it may be 301 and 12. So maybe the steps vary. We will continue doing this thing. We will continue this sequence of steps will be continued until we finally reach the point 0. That is, we will continue this whole thing. We will continue this each step. We will pick out the each and every step, and we will just write them in a linear way. And this is what is said, finding the HCF by Euclid's division lemma, and the last B. And in those steps, the last B which comes out, this one, I will make a star here. And the last B which comes out is just the HCF. If you just match both the things, the left thing here and the right thing here, if you just match the two things, here the 7 is the HCF, and that 7 comes here. So basically, we have to keep writing the steps involved in finding HCF in a linear way, and the last dividend, that is here the 7, till the remainder becomes 0. We have to continue till the remainder becomes 0, and in that step, the step where remainder becomes 0, and the step in which the remainder becomes 0, the dividend or the B in that step is the required HCF. I hope this is clear. I have tried my best for you. So let us do an example, and this will be clear again. So just an example. So let us see an example where question is, we have to find HCF of 72 and 180. HCF of 72 and 180 is what? So basically in NCERT, mainly two types of questions are there. I will cover the examples of both of them now, and after the two examples I do in class today, I think you will be able to solve the NCERT questions. First, solve the NCERT questions, solve them, you try your level best. After that, you see the solution video. I will upload them later. So coming back to the question, HCF of 72 and 180. So we are just doing the HCF steps in a linear way. So first of all, let us write the first step. The smaller number is 72. So 180 equals, now we have to think the maximum time 72 goes in 180. So 72 3 will be exceeding 180. So 72 2 times. So 72 into 2 will be 144. So 180 minus 1. The best thing you should do is you should do the HCF in rough work. I will recommend you doing that. So if you do that, so 72 and 180. So basically 72 2s are, it comes 144, and this comes 36, and this is again 72. So 36 2s are 72. So finally the HCF comes out to be 36. So we have to write the steps here. First step, 72 into 2 plus 36. So 180 is equal to 72 into 2 plus 36. Now the second step is 72 equals to 36 into 2 plus 0. 72 equals to 36 into 2 plus 0. And what I have said, this is the line or step where the remainder is 0. So in this step, the divisor or the B term, this is A equals to BQ plus R, the B term gives the HCF. So HCF equals to 36. Just if you can get clear on these things, that we are just writing the steps of the HCF in a linear way, you are done through it. So this is a type of question, basic question, you can be asked to find the HCF. And the other type of questions which generally are in NCERT or even board examinations will be, which can be asked, is like this type. Question is, show that any positive odd integer is of the form 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3. Now this can be termed as a generalization question. So in these questions basically we have been asked about numbers which are in general. So since we are given q, so this may, here the question is written q, we will be given a, b, c, anything. So it is 4q1, so 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3. So these are generalized numbers. We can put q equals to 1, q equals to 2, q equals to 3, q equals to 4. We can put anything. This is of the form. This is a generalized form. So what they are asking that, show that any positive odd integer is of the form 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3. Now these are mainly based on Euclid's division lemma. So the technique, you have to understand the technique. Whenever these type of questions, like you may be asked about 6n plus 1, 6n plus 3, or maybe something of this sort, then the main thing first which should come to your mind is Euclid's division lemma. So in Euclid's division lemma, we are given A equals BQ plus R. So fortunately in this question we are given the Q to be Q itself. Here is also Q, here this may be A. These are all variables, and in Euclid's division lemma the A, B, Q, R, these all may be changed. These may be written as P equals to mx plus y. This can also be written. That's why at the first I said you that dividend equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. If you can understand that thing, then this A, B, Q, R, this will not just make you confused. This will be clear to you if you can understand that dividend equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. So coming back to the question, now looking at the question, we are seeing 4. So basically in this question we are seeing B to be of the format 4 and R to be of 1, 3. So here comes the concept of R. R lies between 0 and B. So you see, in this type of questions, if it is 4q, then this plus 1, the added part, will always be less than 4 in the given questions, because the R cannot be greater than 4. So from there, I mean, just seeing the questions, you have to get an intuition of what it is asking or to which direction to go. And now, since B here is given 4, so let us take b equals to 4, then the values of r can be 0, 1, 2 and 3. These are the 4 possible values of r if b is 4. Now therefore a can be 4q plus 0, a equals to 4q plus 1, a equals to 4q plus 2 and a equals 4q plus 3. Now if we take these things, a equals to 4q, this is actually 2 times 2q. Now if any number is multiplied by 2, then it is always an even number. So this is even. Now 4q plus 1, a equals to 4q plus 1. Now see, 4q is an even number, and an even number plus 1 always is an odd number. 2 plus 1, 3 odd number. 8 plus 1, 9 odd number. So this is odd. The third case, a equals to 4q plus 2, a equals to 4q plus 2 equals to 2 times 2q plus 1. So again, this is a number multiplied by 2, so this is also even. And the last one, a equals to 4q plus 3. Now any even plus an odd number, 3, will always be an odd number. So this is also odd. So finally we can say that out of these 4 combinations, only 4q plus 1, only 4q plus 1 and 4q plus 3, these two came out to be odd. The rest are even. So basically we have shown the thing. Show that any positive odd integer is of the form 4q plus 1, 4q plus 3. So any positive odd integer. Here the value of q, you put it 1, you put it 2, you put it 3, anything. The result will be, for example, in 4q plus 1, you put q equals to 1. Then 4 plus 1, 5, q equals to 2. Then 8 plus 1, 9, odd. Every time it will come on. 4q plus 3 if you take, let us take q equals to 6. So 24 plus 3, 27, odd. So basically we have to prove that thing. This is a technique. This is a generalized technique to prove this type of sums. So it's not that you have to just mug up the sums. You have to learn from the techniques, because in mathematics some techniques are used and those techniques are actually of similar nature for many problems. So basically you have to understand the technique. So I think after these two examples, most of the NCERT problems and the similar related problems you can solve. So finally, hope you liked the video. So thank you. This is the end of Euclid's division lemma. So stay tuned. The next lecture is coming soon. Thank you.